Today is Beltane, and I came to a gathering. I tried to come to a gathering on one of the most beautiful lands that exist. You'd have to be as dense as a rock to walk this land and not be in amazement. This creek and the trees and the rocks, the stones, and the moss, the ferns, and the meadows, which I'll try to show you. That they are up in the meadow gathered, and I'm here by the river, grieving all the things that stand between myself and actually being able to be present for such a gathering, which is supposed to be a celebration of the coming of spring. And the dance around the maypole, which are things that our ancestors did in Ireland and England. Long enough, you go far enough back, eventually you find indigenous roots everywhere, but of course those roots have been conquered a millennia ago, and these are not the lands of my ancestors. And coming onto this land, I had two thoughts. First was not even so much a thought as just a feeling of just awe and amazement. Just wow, the sacredness, and just makes you want to take your shoes off and be barefoot and just place your hand on stones and moss. And following that immediately, my thought was just this: where are the people of this land? This is the elephant in the room. Where are the native people? Where are the native people of this land? And the answer is nowhere to be found. And that breaks my soul. Makes it feel impossible for me to participate in any form of celebration. It makes me feel like there are two things I could do. Just one, to leave immediately, or two, to come to the river and offer prayers and tears to the land, and to pray for, I don't know, forgiveness for the ancestors because this is all wrong. When you look around, it's so beautiful. The first thing I found was this, it's like a dolmen. It's like we built these. We built these in Europe. Stone. I've been feeling the disconnect. My whole being has been craving like a cave or a den, like a hobbit house on the side of a hill, because my vessel is an extremely sensitive antenna, and I can turn off all the news. I can close down all my accounts, and I'll have a breath of relief, and then it'll just hit me that much harder because I won't be receiving it through a device. I'll be receiving it directly. And this is what happens to me at night. I barely slept last night. Honestly, I've been seeing that in a lot of us. Those of us who are feeling everything. I see it in the bags under our eyes, the grief in our faces, as we just push on to try to keep doing the work and pulling the weight of 10,000 people each for those who are just checked out, plugged in to the matrix that has been superimposed on top of what was here before the white men came and fucked it all up. Fucked it up. Fucking destroyed the people and the cultures, and some have survived and some haven't. The people of this land are nowhere to be found. I carpooled here with a friend. I told her this. I just said 4 words. Where are the natives? She has Algonquin ancestry. The Algonquin were native in mostly what is called Canada now, but they were also in these lands. Especially as the colonizers came, and some of the, just for sheer survival, some of the natives allied with different colonizer groups. The Algonquins, as I understand it, allied with the French more in Canada and other groups. Maybe I shouldn't try to remember this, not misquote something. Iroquois or other nations allied with the British to fight the French, but that meant that the natives ended up fighting and killing each other as well, which was just the dominoes of destruction from the fucking colonizers. She has Algonquin ancestry, and I just said that to her, and she said, there's a story. There's a place near here called Table Rock. It is a huge plateau. Like if you imagine, like if there was a tree. Imagine a tree that's like 1,000 feet wide. That was cut. Picture it, what it would look like, and then fossilized. It's like a huge tree stump, like a monolithic prehistoric plateau. And she said there's a story that they were going to create a reservation near that, and that native people ascended the top and jumped off. And that was just now. I have not fact-checked that. But I also wouldn't be surprised if I can't find an account of it anywhere, even if it happened. Because you know who writes history. And it tracks. I believe the rate of suicide of Native youth is something like 4 times that of non-Native youth. So we killed them. Or we killed them. My Irish ancestors came here in the 20th century, and I carry less guilt from that lineage. And I know a lot of us just came here because of what the British did to us. Taking our lands, raping us, robbing us, starving us, displacing us. Which is never an excuse to go somewhere else and colonize. Same way the Holocaust is no excuse for Zionist colonization of Palestine and Lebanon. The dominoes keep falling. And I'm recording this moment because I can't carry this alone anymore. And maybe they can hear me. Maybe I'm interrupting the pleasantries and the gathering above in the meadow. This is the only way I can be here. Not up there dancing like a bunch of Israelis on stolen land. But we don't dance like Israelis. They dance like us. We are the original Israelis. A little addendum in retrospect, especially considering how the day went. When I say these things, I don't mean to disparage any person here, or the gathering as a whole, or gatherings like this. The people here, at least each of whom I've had any kind of personal experience with, have shown themselves to be good-hearted, loving, kind people. And the gathering itself is beautiful. Honestly, I think the fact that it has catalyzed this deep of a process for me is a testament to that, to the medicine, even if my relationship with that medicine is different. I've walked this land before, years ago, and I'll say more about that when I'm ready, but I did not have an experience like this then. Granted, I'm a different person who's been through many things since then, and still, I know that the energy of the people here and their intention to gather in loving community has something to do with it as well. Sometimes grief doesn't really move until we give it a reason to, a light at the end of the tunnel, if you will, to move towards, a safe embrace to fall into after we fall apart. Which isn't to say, oh well, it's all good. A land acknowledgement is a very bare minimum, if that. And while there is no fee or even donation for this gathering, for events where there is, any event, anywhere, a portion of those proceeds need to be donated to Native people. And if that means researching to find out who they are and where they are, then that's what needs to happen. Solidarity with the indigenous people of the land that we live on, occupy, needs to become normalized and unconditional. That's my ask, that's my hope. And now, back to breaking open. The other side of my lineage is English. The fucking bloody Brits. And they came here in like the 1600s. Virginia probably had plantations too. the only way, I'm not even sure how to pray. I'm not even sure what to pray for. Forgiveness doesn't feel warranted. I had a prayer of a native woman. Not young, but not an elder. And I came wanting to offer prayer because I didn't know what else to do other than the way I've spent my life, working the land, trying to at least be in right relationship with the land. If the people of the land have been erased and I cannot create right relationship with them, maybe the spirits of the land will forgive me. So I've spent my life working the fields, fucking exhausting my body. And in this dream, I wanted to offer her a prayer, and we locked eyes. And I don't know that there were any words, per se. In a dream, things can be transmitted without words, you know? They can just, there's a message. Like, what are words anyways? What is English? Language of the colonizer. Before we had English, we transmitted words in other ways. But I knew the translation of those words, and it was basically her spirit said to me, "It's too late." She said, "We don't need or want your prayers. They won't fix it. You can't fix this." And I felt it in my fucking bones. My body's shaking. My one little body cannot hold this anymore. I don't have tissues, so I'm gonna use these. Excuse me while I mop up with some dried maple leaves. The original TP. Sandpaper on my face. Like our presence on these lands. We are sandpaper, grinding down everything that is holy. Cutting the trees, leaking oil into the rivers, spraying poison in the fields, burning, mining, fracking, poisoning, raping, and pillaging. Her response, it was as cold as ice on a glacier, and it felt fitting. It even felt like mercy, because she didn't curse me. She did not aggress against me. She just told me with unveiled honesty, this is what it is. This is what it fucking is. But that's our word too. Leave it to the Europeans to inject a little bit of the profane into everything. I'm so fucking done with facades of normalcy. If it wasn't already out of reach after Gaza, normalcy is dead to me.